Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Livingston High School's Boys Soccer Senior Night. Let's now send it down to the field.
Livingston High School at the Allen J. Jacobson Memorial Field, where tonight the Livingston Lancers will be hosting the West Essex Knights, coached by Rob Grasso. Before we begin announcing our seniors, we would just like to honor West Essex seniors with a round of applause. Good luck to all the seniors from West Essex. And now for our seniors. Number 1, goalie Matthew John. Co-captain number 2, Charlie Grossman, and Mr. Grossman and Mrs. Grossman. Number 3, Ryan Greenberg with Mr. and Mrs. Greenberg. Number 4, Nick Mott with Mrs. Mott. Number 5, Matthew Blinderman with Mr. and Mrs. Blinderman. Number 6, co-captain Aaron Henselvitz with Mr. and Mrs. Henselvitz and family. Number 7, Tyler Borelowitz, escorted by his mom, Mrs. Borelowitz. Number 8, Timmy Kelly with Mr. and Mrs. Kelly and family. Number 9, Chris Kane, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Kane. Number 10, co-captain Andrew Pessoa, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Pessoa and family. Number 11, Keyshawn Bava, escorted by Mr. Bava and family. Number 12, Matthew Kay, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Kay and family. Number 13, Jake Fursko with Mr. and Mrs. Fursko and family. Number 15, co-captain Zachary Feldman with Mr. and Mrs. Feldman and family. Number 16, Mitchell Constant with Mr. and Mrs. Constant and family. Number 22, Gabriel Kanchik with Mr. and Mrs. Kanchik and family. Number 24, Eric Bolanow with Mr. and Mrs. Bolanow. And number 26, Neil Hajeed with Mr. and Mrs. Hajeed and family. Congratulations to all of our seniors. Best of luck in college next year. Thank you very much.
for the end zone. What a catch! McKay, touchdown!
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Wins it! The championship!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Al Jake Jacobson Field in Livingston, Essex County, New Jersey. Tonight we have a competition between the 7-5-2 Livingston Lancers boys varsity soccer team, as they'll be hosting the West Essex Regional High School Knights, just a 20-minute drive away, here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ryan Lowey. Today on camera will be Marley Goldstein. A nice attendance on hand to congratulate their seniors on their final regular season matchup before they will take on Ridgewood on the road just a few days from today to begin their Group 4 state tournament campaign. It is a great evening for soccer. We had some clouds and some rain earlier on today, but for the evening, clear skies and the warmest weather we've had since possibly the summer. We're notching on 70 degrees Fahrenheit this evening for both teams to take the field. For West Essex, this will be their final matchup of not just the regular season, but of their seniors' careers as well. They were 6 points shy of a state tournament appearance in Section 2, Group 3. Today's contest is presented by the New Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute in Clifton, New Jersey, and Mr. Michael C. Rusinella, an affiliate of the Hudson Catholic Regional Hospital. With that being said, Livingston is warming up and staying healthy with 3 minutes and 40 seconds before we kick off, in West Essex in their huddle. Coach Rob Grosso in his 12th season at the helm of the West Essex Knights, and Coach Rubinetti, 32nd season at the helm of the Livingston Lancers. With that being said, we have soccer coming up next, West Essex and Livingston, on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network.
The North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute is the preferred practice for diagnosis and orthopedic treatment in New Jersey. Our focus includes sports injuries, as well as the treatment of a broad range of orthopedic complaints, from common tendon ailments and arthritic joint pain to traumatic injuries. Our facility offers an on-site physical therapy suite, in conjunction with specifically designed exercise programs, non-invasive and advanced healing technology. Specialist Dr. Michael Rusinella utilizes non-surgical and minimally invasive surgical procedures to help patients regain back their quality of life.
As I said earlier, 7-5-2. The Lancers of Livingston enter this effort, and the West Essex Knights a 6-9 record. Hello, everybody. Once again, my name is Ryan Lowey on the broadcast for Senior Night and the 2022 big game. The Lancers will try and hold the silver trophy for a 7th straight year. Both teams coming in very injury-plagued, but also wrapping up their regular seasons. For West Essex, their final contest on the boys' soccer field, and for Livingston, their final regular season contest and their final time on their home turf. A lot would have to happen for that to not be the case. Of course, a lot would have to happen on the bracket side of things. Livingston a winning record, as I said earlier, 7 wins on the season. They started off the season with 3 losses to West Orange, which was a reasonable loss considering West Orange's rank entering the season, which they have withheld with a phenomenal record as well to accompany it. Then a tough loss to Newark Academy at home at the Madonna Turf across the street, and then a loss at Newark Eastside High School, where they held a 1-0 lead, and Newark Eastside, one of New Jersey's top public schools, mounted a comeback, and it was all north from there for Newark Eastside. Then the Lancers will pick up their first win of the season, a 2-0 contest versus Columbia, and then a 1-0 win, their first road win of the season at Montclair Kimberly Academy. A tough 2-0 loss to Seton Hall Prep, which I called. You can catch that. It was a Friday evening matchup on the on-demand function on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. And then the Lancers traveled to Millburn, a 4-1 victory in a rivalry contest that the Lancers were happy to call theirs once again. A 2-2 tie at Montclair, a very reasonable result against a very strong team under head coach Torrey Weaver. A 3-1 win at Cedar Grove. Dylan Ferber, the one spark that Cedar Grove has had yelling for them this season in the beginning stages before they went off on a winning streak where they'll be entering the playoffs soon. The Lancers nonetheless able to put 3 on the board. Then the county tournament campaign started, a 1-0 win versus Verona here at home. Then they traveled to Montclair and had a controversial victory where many said that Montclair scored the tying goal. However, what many said and what was caught on video with a soccer ball entering the net for Montclair against Livingston was actually called off as no goal. In the semifinal matchup, Seton Hall Prep took down Livingston 3-0 at Milburn High School. A special thank you to Mr. Frank Bufulco for making that production happen. And then 2 straight days of soccer, a 2-1 win at a very strong Chatham side, and then a 1-1 tie versus Morris Hills here at home. With that being said, this will be the final regular season matchup before the Lancers travel to Ridgewood in the Section 1 Group 4 playoff bracket. We have soccer coming up next. Stay tuned right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play. Winston from Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Mackay touchdown.
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Lucia wins it. The championship.
Welcome back to Al Jake Jacobson Field here in Livingston, Essex County, New Jersey. It's Livingston Boys Soccer Senior Night versus the West Essex Knights. And it's the big game of 2022. Livingston, champions of the last 6. They're trying to make it 7 in a row today against their friendly rivals in the SEC. And now we're going to take a look at how West Essex got here to their final contest of the season. 6 wins and 9 losses, a pretty solid record for a non-qualifying team in the SEC American Division. This will be the final SEC matchup for both teams in the final SEC matchup of the season, the SEC being the Super Essex Conference. West Essex, a tough start to the season. Seton Hall Prep had a row of 3-0 wins to start off their season. They started off hosting West Essex to a 3-0 win. Then they would travel to Glen Ridge, a 2-0 loss. The two teams swapped divisions. Last year, Glen Ridge was in the SEC American. They had a tough season. And West Essex was in the SEC Liberty Division. Glen Ridge in the interdivisional matchup took the 2-0 win, and then just 3 days later, they would host Montclair, a 3-0 loss versus a very strong Mountie side. Then at West Orange, a 4-0 loss against a very strong side. They'd pick up their first win of the season on 9/20 in Game 5, a narrow 1-0 victory versus Bloomfield, a very tough, contested, and physical matchup. That was a 4-2 loss versus Newark Eastside, putting 2 goals in against Newark Eastside. Very reasonable, a very strong program they are. Livingston couldn't even put in 2 goals as the favored winners in today's matchup. A 5-0 win hosting Caldwell. Caldwell having a tough season, West Essex taking advantage. A very close back and forth 5-4 loss versus Columbia once again. And then 2 wins back-to-back in 3 days, including at Milburn, a 4-3 win, and then at the Irvington Blue Knights, a 3-1 win. Right before the county campaign, they would go visit Howell. A long drive down the shore, a 3-1 loss they would have at Howell, and then a 7-1 win in the play-in round of the Essex County Preliminary Tournament to enter the earliest of the 4 rounds of the county tournament, a 1-0 loss at the Minutemen of Newark Academy. 2 matchups before today, a 5-0 loss at Jack Weber's Verona Hillbillies, and then a 7-2 win hosting the Nutley Raiders. That is how we get here today for both teams. Livingston favored to win this matchup. Livingston qualified for the playoffs once again last year. A second-round exit from the tournament. That was against Passaic. You can catch that game on the on-demand function on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Although lost, the Lancers were able to squeeze in a goal scored by Noah Fisher, a graduate of last year's senior night for the grade under his. 17 seniors will graduate from the program. 4 years of effort. Some 4 years of varsity play, some 3 years of varsity play, some 2 years, and some 1 year of varsity play. Of course, an emotional one for the captains as well. Charlie Grossman, Aaron Henselvitz, and of course, Zachary Feldman. Charlie Grossman committed to play at Muhlenberg in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Division III soccer, and as well as that for number 15, Zachary Feldman, the Wesleyan commit. Picture now being taken for this Livingston Lancers boys varsity soccer squad. Wonderful weather, we're looking at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And cloudy skies, which means we shouldn't have too much of a sun in your view this evening. My name is Ryan Lowry. I'd like to thank you once again for joining us here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Marley Goldstein on camera. West Essex puts their starting 11 out on the field. They're in their huddle, same as Livingston. 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time. A little delayed from our 5 p.m. kickoff due to the senior night festivities. Nonetheless, we are ready to get things going here at the Jake. 2 40-minute halves. The clock will stop for a goal or for an injury, as well as excessive stoppages signaled by the official crossing his wrists. We broadcasted 2 Livingston games this season, as well as 2 West Essex games this season. We covered West Essex's 3-0 loss at Seton Hall Prep, and West Essex's 4-0 loss versus West Orange. And on the other side for Livingston, both their matchups versus Seton Hall Prep. And of course, I was not on the broadcast for this one, but we covered a third broadcast versus a fierce West Orange side that took them down 1-0. Zachary Feldman was on the call for that one. So 3 matches on D1 Media Pro for Livingston, 2 for West Essex. Both teams trying to score their first goal on the network this year. West Essex will kick off the first half. Livingston will take the second half. Final regular season matchup for both teams. West Essex will wrap up their season after this one. Livingston will have 1 day to prepare for the state tournament versus Ridgewood. Matchup scheduled for Thursday. 3 officials today. 1 close sideline checking the Lancers goal. 1 far sideline who recently checked the West Essex goal, and then a head official in the middle. Of course, 2 ball boys are also presented to make sure that the flow of the game continues at a proper rate of speed. West Essex brought a few parents to watch today. Livingston, a nice senior night crowd. Now, this Livingston team, a phenomenal team. They could make a state run, just had a tough start to the season, also very injury prone, including the loss of their starting goalkeeper. They also had the absence of some of their top senior players. So with that being said, West Essex and Livingston and the officials are all ready to go. Let's play senior night big game soccer here in 2022. Feldman's pass a little too strong, and West Essex will come down the other side. Livingston will gain the ball from the back. Once again, the right back, Aaron Henselvitz. Swings one all the way back to Andy Pasella. Livingston in retro mode with their uniforms. Their main color is green. West Essex in their road white with the red accents and red sleeves. The center back, Andy Pasella, plays one up. Intercepted and taken back by the Lancers. Zach Feldman leads the rush. Plays over to Mr. Timothy Kelly. Slow pass that's handled far side and a miscommunication. It's played away by Mitchell Constat for a throw-in for West Essex. Today's player to watch for the Livingston Lancers is the Wesleyan commit, Mr. Zachary Feldman. Having a great year, the first of the Lancers to commit to play at the next level, and a 4-year varsity player, a sheer center back that can play at the midfield and up top as well. Here's Mitchell Constat, star track runner. Plays a through ball to Tyler Borelowitz. Borelowitz slips up on his tracks, and it will roll out. And the Lancers have earned themselves a corner kick. And of course, for West Essex, a lot of goals across the board. Josh Modelson, 8 goals and 2 assists on the season, and 7 goals and 5 assists on the season for John Kasaglu. Those are the 2 players to watch for the Knights. The Henselvitz corner kick is in. Feldman's flying header misses, and it's dual thread away, and the Lancers will try and punch it back in. It's over by Mitchell Constat. The dual threat effort there off the foot and then headed away by Devin Golden, number 11, the senior for the West Essex Knights. West Essex last year, 8 wins, 6 losses in the SEC Liberty Division. Didn't win the division, however, they played up to the SEC American Division this year. This is their final divisional matchup. 1-5 they entered this game in divisional play. Hard to believe, 32 seasons, and this year now over 300 wins for Coach Roger Rubinetti at the helm of the program. See many different ADs in charge in his tenure here. Many different classes of players, a few D1 players, a lot of D3 players, a lot of skilled, very talented individuals that he has seen graduate out of this program. And today he will see well over 15 seniors A lot of seniors graduate. I believe it was 3 years ago this program saw 18 seniors graduate. It was a question during the tryout process if the team could handle that many seniors on the roster at once. Well, in fact, they did. They had a winning record. They lost to Mount Olive in the first round of the state tournament, but still a very admirable season coming off of 2 losing seasons in a row with that class having a lot of players on the roster. This senior class saw a lot of success. Last year, although a second round exit and a semifinal loss, the semifinal loss in the county tournament and the second round exit in the Section 1 Group 4 state tournament, still a phenomenal 16-4-1 record. One of the best records Coach Rubinetti has seen in his tenure. Very similar to his most recent 15-5-1 and 15-4-1 tenures where he won the county tournament just a few years back. Hasn't seen a state championship. That was just over 40 years ago for the LHS boys soccer program. So best they've ever done in the state tournament was 2 years ago. A loss at Montclair. A tough 3-0 loss. The girls would also play Montclair in the sectional finals, or you can call it the abbreviated state finals. A 4-0 loss they had. Montclair soccer that year dominant. Boys top in New Jersey. Girls top in the nation. Covered up by Matthew John in net. And Matthew John going to heed the call with Ricky Romero as the 2 goalkeeping headmasters for the state tournament, as Jake Hans finds himself with a quad tear to no doubt end his high school soccer season. Hopefully he can get healthy for the spring club season. That's one thing that has just riddled this team. Feldman missed a good 5 games in the shortened schedule this year due to injury. On top of that, Aaron Henselvitz saw himself injured in a exciting overtime loss against Newark Academy in a Battle of Livingston matchup at the Madonna Turf across the street. Second year Livingston has hosted that effort between the 2 teams in a row. El Fuego in the center will play one to the left backing Ming Ma, the 2-year varsity player. Kay plays one in, tapped by Kelly ahead. Tyler Borelowitz. Back to Matthew Kay. Deflected pass kept in by Borelowitz. Heaves the ball in the air. A little too crafty, the defender was able to handle it. Feldman plays it back to the middle. Here's Andy Pessoa. Lancers and the West Essex Knights still looking for their first goal on the network this year. Tyler Borelowitz plays one into the middle. Here's Timmy Kelly. Kelly maneuvers round. He plays one on over. Mitchell Constadt, number 16. The speedster plays one far side. It's a one-touch by Henselvitz. Offside is Fierce Feldman. Now we're going to highlight some seniors. Feldman has had a phenomenal career with the Livingston Lancers. Saw himself getting some preseason appearances for varsity his freshman year, worked his way all the way up to a regular season starter, the only freshman to do so. He was accompanied by Charlie Grossman his freshman year. However, Grossman averaging 10 to 15 minutes per game, unlike Feldman's, sometimes playing the entire effort, almost starting every game his freshman year. Feldman, an honorable mention in the SEC American Division his freshman year. All other years, he was a first-team effort. This year, he's trying to look for the All-State honors. Missed a few games due to injury, but hopefully that won't affect it. Feldman also very successful statistically as he saw himself moving through the midfield and the forwards position, as here come the Lancers down the other side. Grossman, Feldman. Look at the senior core control the pace of the game against the West Essex Knights squad, thirsty to end a season where they won't see a state tournament off with a win. Number 2, Charlie Grossman, stands 5'7", plays one to Feldman. Here's Fierce Feldman. Feldman cuts, Feldman plays. Space for Constadt. Doesn't want to rip one, he will lose the ball, but it will wind up in Kelly's feet, tapped away, and eventually poked right on over to Andy Pessoa. El Fuego fires through, rifling the soccer ball ahead, finds himself far side, too heavy of a touch, and it's now going to be a goal kick for Greg Ryan, entering this contest with 32 saves to his name. As we were saying, very successful season for Zachary Feldman. No assists on the season to his credit, but 2 goals. Now, if we take a look at his career stats in 2023, as we said, 2 goals, not much to happen for him statistically due to his defensive presence. However, him in the midfield and at the forwards position, very damaging to opponents. His 2 goals came at Chatham and versus Morris Hills, so he was the tying effort in the Morris Hills contest. And he was able to poke in one of the 2 goals versus Chatham. Chatham, a Group 3 school. Grossman spears through, he plays one in the middle. It's touched away by Lucas Pastor. Feldman plays it back, and the Lancers will take their time. 6 goals and 4 assists for Charlie Grossman. As we were highlighting him earlier, he's been having a great season. Take a look at his career stats. 11 goals last season. 6 this season. Obviously, much less games played. 21 played last year. Even if the Lancers play state tournament competitions, all 5 of the available games, they would only tie that amount of games at best. They would not be able to play more games than last year's very long season. 1 goal his sophomore year, and 1 goal and 1 assist his freshman year. Very good statistics for Charlie Grossman. Obviously, his career highlight being last year. Like most of the Lancers, just a phenomenal season the past 2 years this Lancers team has had, and they're starting to come around this year. Almost all of their losses being reasonable. And Hernando Santa Maria's Newark Academy Minutemen are just a phenomenal soccer team this season. They've been young for a while. They've developed themselves back into a prominent force, able to upset Livingston. That was one of their big names. Also a 1-0 loss against a team that Livingston has only had to go through rocks to beat, and they just couldn't squeeze through them this year. That was the West Orange Mountaineers, spearheaded by Coach Doug Nevins, who found his 350th win. He's been coaching since the very early 2000s, I believe it was 2001. Also a Seton Hall prep alum, played 2 years there after he moved here from Pennsylvania. Played away, and it'll be a West Essex throw-in. Vincent Piccinini, 2 goals and 3 assists on the season. We'll give it over for a throw-in for West Essex. Browitz is poked off of it. Now here come the Knights. Elias Skounakis plays one in. Poked away. Headed in the air by Captain Zachary Smith. Ma reads it. Poked back up once again by Skounakis. Whistles come in. Zachary Smith gave a shove. And it will be a free kick played in quickly by Andy Pessoa. Whistles come in now to put the ball back. 28:45 left to play here in the first half of action on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Played away once again for a Lancers throw-in. Up by Michael Kobos. Quickly plays one to the middle. Tapped ahead, an excellent effort by Timmy Kelly. Mitchell Kronstadt will now play one far. Henselvitz played left back last year, shows he can use his left foot. He gives Greg Ryan a challenge. Ryan handles it. He fakes a roll, and now he will take his time. Highlighted 2 seniors, Neil Hajib. Very dominant force for the Lancers on the left side of the field. Played freshman ball. Started almost every game his freshman year. Same goes for his sophomore JV year. That was actually a highlight game he had, getting called up to the varsity level, scoring a varsity goal in the Lancers' 7-0 effort against Newark Central High School. Got a couple appearances on varsity last year. Spent a prominent amount of time practicing as well, as here's an opportunity for Livingston. It's poked away. A great defensive effort. And then Neil Hajib now playing some key senior year minutes, known as the corner kick guy on the far side for Livingston. He knows how to kick a soccer ball just perfectly. Wondered if he ever wanted to invest any of his time in football kicking. Obviously, after the departure of Andrew Pessoa's cousin, last year's kicker for a very strong 4-6 Lancers football team, Daniel Silva, who played soccer his freshman year, graduated, doing a number when it comes to field goals against opponents on the varsity football side. Henselwitz tries to drive by Smith. He plays one ahead. Intercepted, poked away by Demir John. 2 substitutions for the Knights. Again, West Essex, 6 wins and 9 losses entering this contest. Last year was actually a highlight start to any team season. Finished out the season with 8 victories, but it really looked like they were going to finish out the season with up to 12, maybe 13 victories in 15 games played. Beat Caldwell 1-0. Then they beat Belleville on the road 3-1. They beat Eastside 2-0. Eastside, a team that was juggling up and down last year, found a 500 record, ready for a phenomenal season this year. It was a development year for them. Then a 2-0 win against Bloomfield, a team that many say is very hard to get by, like your average soccer team that struggles. Then a 2-1 win versus Columbia, and then it started to hit West Essex's toughest part of the schedule. Matthew Kay. Timothy Kelly now back to Zachary Feldman, and all the way far side to Aaron Henselwitz. Played ahead, Grossman on the header. Handled on a knee for Gregory Ryan. Well, after a 5-0 start, they'd run into a 1-0 contest versus a Glen Ridge Ridgers side that controlled the pace of the game. However, West Essex's defense kept them in at a 1-0 loss. Then at Nutley, a 2-1 victory they had, and then it started to hit them for real this time. A 5-0 loss at Ari Rosu's West Orange Mountaineers, a team that saw an Essex County final run and a Section 1 Group 4 final run. And it was a 1-0 loss at a state championship in Group 3 Summit side. Then they beat Booton 4-3. Tied Newark Academy, a team that came around at around the time they took on West Essex. Then it was a 2-0 loss versus Verona in a divisional matchup. Beat Milburn, a struggling team, 2-0, and then finished out the season with a 3-1 loss in the big game. The Lancers would pick up their 6th straight big game trophy. Mingma plays one up. Substitutions. West Essex will check in Josh Modelson. Modelson will take out Zach Kesh. And the Lancers sub in 3. 23:55 left to play here in the first half between Livingston and West Essex. The big game 2022, a game usually played under the lights. The Lancers have won the Silver Trophy the past 6 times. They're looking for their 7th straight. They're trying to re-hoist a trophy that Coach Gill brought onto the field today. They've held it all year in honor of that big victory. A trophy the team was very proud to have in their hands after overperforming in the regular season, but underperforming in both the county tournament. Well, I guess you could say they performed reasonably in a tough county tournament and underperforming in the sectional tournament. Keyshawn Bava will check in, as well as number 26, Neil Hajib, who we highlighted earlier. I was talking to Coach Charney of the JV side. Livingston, 6 draws to their name, and a strong contest this weekend. I believe they played 2. And for West Essex, a tough season on the JV and freshman end, but however, a lot of talent this team has proven to show. They moved themselves up to the SEC American Division. Kovac on a 1 punch out with the shin guard, tapped back in the air. 2 Lancers collide. This one rolls down for a Modelson throw-in. Modelson 8 goals, 2 assists on the season. Leads West Essex statistically. West Essex now trying to hold control. And West Essex will make a quick substitution. A lot of first half substitutions, both teams wrapping up their regular season. Back to the drawing book for West Essex after this year. or after this game, I should say, for Rob Grasso. Year number 13 coming up for him, and he really wants to regroup the program, see what he can do. Interesting to see how the division alignment will come in. Obviously, only one win in division competition for West Essex. Can't have many head coaches and athletic directors wanting to put them back in the American division. They had a great Liberty division run last year. 8 wins to their name total, including 5 in division. A tie as well, and 1 loss in division. Santucci keeps in play as he deflects one off of Lucas Pastor. Loses it, tries to run around it. It's played all the way back. Blinderman with the chest. Keyshawn Bava. And it's cleared away. Headed out now for a Knights throw-in. Thank you for joining us here at Al Jake Jacobson Field, home of Lancers Athletics. Pessoa will play away. Tapped in the air. Here's an effort for Grossman. Grossman takes a touch. Can't be handled in net. Grossman still trying to slurve around. He plays one back. It's touched away. Trying to work around Greg Ryan, who just couldn't get a hold on it. Tried to play one back. Swarmed by 3 Knights defenders. Neil Hajib throws a player away as he plays one back. Here's Fierce Feldman. Feldman spears a beautiful ball, and the finish. Oh, what a save by Ryan. Greg Ryan shows frustration after he had to take care of that clearance all on his own. He denied a Lancers goal. Looked like that shot came in from Dylan Santucci, number 14, as a quick substitution. Timmy Kelly will come off. Chris Kane will relieve. And Chris Kane, Coach Urbani, speaking very highly of him this year. Pessoa plays one in. It's tapped away by Lucas Pastor. Bava heads it back, works a 1-2, can't hold on to it. As it's through his legs off the pass from Matthew Blinderman. Lancers completely controlling the pace of the game. Haven't heard me say many West Essex names, have you? It's because Livingston has just controlled the possession 90% of the time, probably more. If you want to give a rough estimate, that's what I'd put it at. Henselvitz. Neil Hajib cuts in. Hajib? Deflected away by the D-line. Santucci tries to roll through, and eventually it's poked away. That one played away by Skounakis. In the air. On the header from Piccinini. And off a touch by Piccinini this time, Livingston will control once again. Bava plays back. Matthew Blinderman to the middle of the field. Pessoa has to get dirty with it. He saves a possible breakaway. Excellent effort by El Fuego. And Fierce Feldman plays far side. What do you know? It's Aaron Henslow. He plays one ahead. Offsides was Kane. Leaves it for Hajib. Hajib drives in. Too heavy of a touch. It rolls out. And Greg Ryan gets to feast with this one. A quick substitution for the Knights now as Michael Kobos will check back into the game. Played in the air. Santucci tries to relay one. It's tapped ahead by Bava. He takes a hit forward the team. Grossman poked off of it. However, he didn't get a touch on it. They'll say, maybe he did. Yes, he did, actually. And it's a West Essex Knights throw-in. Played in, this one touched over Kobos, and Livingston will gobble up on it. Quick passing here displayed by the Lancers, getting ready for that Ridgewood game. Just a few days away on the road. Likely a 2 p.m. kickoff. Still says it's to be determined, but likely a 2 p.m. kickoff is what I would go with if I were you and planning on attending the matchup. Village of Ridgewood, a beautiful place. Phenomenal sports teams. Their football team actually was most recently upset by the Montclair Mounties, but both their boys and girls soccer team, including last year, Ridgewood actually took down Livingston on the girls' side for the sectional championship. Quickly thrown into the 6, a strong throw in from Blinderman. Tapped away, Blinderman comes on it with a right-footed touch, tries to spear it in with his left foot, it's deflected out. He'll do it again on the throw-in. Excellent West Essex deflection. You can also see on the screen Devin Golden stretching out. Relay header in the air, Greg Ryan. No problem for him. West Essex, a Group 3 program. And playing Section 2, Group 3 for most competitions. A well-known dominant wrestling school, they are, as well as having a great football season. Looking forward to playoffs starting later this week. They will host a first-round game on Friday night. Taken away, here's Grossman. Grossman plays one ahead. Chris Kane charges onto it. Takes a touch far, he'll try and regroup. Plays it out, here's Neil Hajib. Hajib spears one, and it just misses the net into the lacrosse net. Behind the works of the goal figure. A tough effort. And a good attest there by Neil Hajib, but West Essex takes a breath. Greg Ryan trying to pump up the Knights, get them going. Bava heads ahead. Grossman. Backwards touch, he plays to Blinderman. Matthew Blinderman, last year's JV captain for the Lancers. They had a great year. The year before, he was the captain of the Lancers JV squad. He also played on an undefeated JV team. A 3-0-3 record the team had. They played some great contests, and also freshman year got some time up top, in the back, and at the middle. Recently found himself in the starting lineups due to the Lancers' injuries. He's brought a lot of leadership as an experienced senior and club soccer player. Grossman can't take a touch on it. Here's Gabe Kanchik. Kanchik, also a first-year varsity player, works 1-2 with Matthew Blinderman. A nice touch by Captain Pessoa. Pessoa on varsity since sophomore year. He also played a lot of JV his sophomore year, but he got some time in the sectional finals versus Montclair as he draws a foul called there on Captain Smith. Well, West Orange picked up a 4-0 win in their final regular season matchup. It was their second and only out-of-conference matchup of the regular season against Memorial, a team that has surprised the world of Jersey City. However, SEC soccer at the high levels, like West Orange, like Livingston, like Seton Hall Prep, they just couldn't handle it. West Orange, 4 goals on their senior night. Kane tries to check in, it's poked away. Number 11, Keyshawn Bava, the senior, loses the ball. He tries to work his way back onto it, and a whistle comes in. And Diago works a free kick for West Essex. West Essex look to check in Devin Golden. A lot of seniors on this squad as well. That saw a very happy and successful start to last season. Hard to believe West Essex missed the playoffs. It's just been that good of a year for many teams. If you take a look at their bracket, it's a very tough one that they had to compete against all season. And only playing 15 contests was definitely not the most preferred one. Look at Section 2, Group 3. Summit, the first seed. Maybe they didn't have the best record that they would have hoped for. Of course, they didn't win the county. Westfield won that once again, but they still had a great season. And of course, Montville, semifinalists of one of the biggest county soccer brackets. They lost at Mount Olive in the Morris County Tournament semifinals. They got the second seed. Belleville actually holds the 4 seed, and Somerville the 3rd seed. Randolph, the 6th seed. Mendham, the 7th seed. I didn't mention the 5th seed. That's South Plainfield. So good soccer. Maybe not the best records all around, but a lot of teams that were expected to have better years that will likely clash at each other in full force and bring some pure entertainment to your screen in the Section 2 Group 3 playoffs. All set to start on Thursday and tomorrow for the girls. Feldman plays ahead. Santucci still holds on to it. And he takes his time with it. Here's a ball for Chris Kane. Tries to play one through. It's deflected off of Pastor. Lucas Pastor still on it. Plays one through on a clearance. And now West Essex still waiting to sub in Devin Golden as the sun that's been hiding behind the clouds this entire game starts to head downward. West Essex was fighting with Cranford 6 points behind them for that final spot. As here's one crossed in. No header comes in. Grossman plays one back. Here's a shot ripped from Santucci, deflected away. Throw in now for Livingston. Cranford, a 5-12 record. However, Scotch Plains, Fanwood, Elizabeth, Westfield, Summit, Union, Elizabeth again, Westfield again. And of course, they saw Scotch Plains, Fanwood again. We're reading their schedule through. They played just so many tough teams that they lost to that the power points just started raking up. And those 5 wins could do it for them. The wins coming against Glen Ridge, most recently before that Union Catholic. 2 county tournament victories versus Johnson and Brarley. And then their first win of the season came in game number 6. It was a 4-3 back and forth contest out of conference at North Plainfield. That separated them from the West Essex Knights. I was talking to Coach Grosso. I said, really? You didn't make the playoffs? 6 wins? Very solid record? You're in the SEC American? He said, yeah, no, it was just a really tough bracket. Thank you for the compliment, though. And really, the West Essex, they really tried to play a little, I don't want to say out of their league, they really tried to stretch it a little bit. Considering the teams that they had to take on the year prior that they saw a successful start but just couldn't polish off a phenomenal season with, and they tried to boot themselves up to the SEC American division. And while they tried their hardest, they were able to pick up 1 divisional win, 5 tough losses. A loss here would make it 6 divisional losses here on Livingston's senior night in their final contest. They will play 16 games. They do have some star talent returning. Michael Kobos, only a sophomore. Skunakis, he's a freshman. So, a lot of talent. Skunakis has 2 assists on the season. A few injured players as well. Sebastian Blanek is injured. Leonard Tenorio, the junior, he has another year. He's injured as well. So still some talent coming in for West Essex. Another substitution. Set to check in. West Essex try and check in 2. Livingston will try and check in 1. Only 1 substitution can come in for West Essex. Timmy Kelly checks back in. He takes out Charlie Grossman in on the West Essex side. Piccinini checks out for Devin Golden, who's been stretching out for a surmountable amount of minutes on the close side, left side of your screen. Played back in. Andy Pessoa takes heavy touches, plays one ahead. Right over Feldman's head. He will try and regroup on it. He turns, takes the shot. Handled brilliantly. Great hand-eye coordination by Greg Ryan. He seared that one up like a frying pan there on Feldman's tricky turf shot. Took a few tough bounces. West Essex now trying to take some control. Nice effort there by Lucas Pastor to hold possession. Santucci. One touch by Chris Kane. He falls. He's still able to make his run, but he'll lose the race. Touch it last. As a matter of fact, I believe they might have called him off sides. 5:40 and 6 minutes 50 seconds left to play here in the first half. Wrapping up the regular season of New Jersey high school soccer. Playoffs on the girls' side set to begin. We'll have West Orange's contest on the girls' side tomorrow at 2 p.m. start. Kevin Connolly on the call. Thursday, we have boys soccer playoffs. Kevin Connolly on the call once again for a 2 p.m. boys soccer start for West Orange. Also have Seton Hall Prep Senior Night, a 4 p.m. kickoff they have with festivities prior. They got to get that one in quickly because it's starting to get dark earlier. And they have a 4 o'clock kickoff. And they have senior night festivities. They're hosting Newark Academy. Newark Academy probably going to be surprise competition for the Seton Hall Prep team. Every time they take on Newark Academy, they see it as somewhat easy competition. This year, Hernando Santamaria sees it different. Beautiful ball to Feldman. Looks like he's offside. Late flag came in from the far side official to rule that effort dead. Not only that, football playoff starting this Friday. Very excited to hit the road with my colleagues Jacob Gorin and Jordan Cooper. We're going to head over to Warren. Watchung Hills High School will take on West Orange High School. Watchung Hills 7-2 to end their regular season. West Orange 5-3. Should be a great contest. It's on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. A 7 p.m. scheduled kickoff. About a half hour away from here. Should be great football ahead. And of course, Livingston still playing some football beyond this one. Entered the consolation tournament. They take on Bayonne. It's a win, play on, possible 3 rounds of football scenario. Saw Bayonne a few times here on the NFHS Network. You can catch them on demand versus West Orange, as I believe their most recent matchup. I was on the call for that one. Under 5 minutes left to go. 4 subs for Livingston, 2 for West Essex. That's 6 fresh legs on the field. And take a look at this one. Number 3 checking in on the left side of your screen. He just gave a knuckle bump, I guess you can call it, to Dylan Santucci. Getting his first appearance on the soccer field in his high school career is Ryan Greenberg. He's done a lot of great things for this Livingston soccer program. Helped manage the program for 3 years and also doing a lot this year as well. He's now going to get some time on the field. Kay touches to Feldman. Back on over. Played ahead. This one is touchdown by Matt Kay, and it's poked away by Devin Golden. Quickly thrown in. Touchdown by Greenberg. That was his first varsity soccer touch of his career. Played back. Here's Matthew John. I'm going to do a quick highlight on Matthew John. Backup goalkeeper his freshman year. Earned the JV starting spot with some very hard offseason work and with his club team, Parsippany Soccer Club, over the offseason to earn a starting spot his sophomore year on the JV squad. Last year, he also played some varsity minutes as well, but that was mainly overtaken by the effort of Jake Hans. Saw a few starts as well. Not only that last year, but not only Jake Hans' starts, we also saw Logan Paredes, so he played a lot of JV soccer as well. Definitely made a prominent effort. Starting to rain a little bit here at the Jake. Not expecting too much rain. Wasn't on our forecast. Shot from far, deflected away, far side. Whistles come in. We're going to see what the call is. Looks like it's going to be a West Essex free kick off of a handball. Starting to get a little rain. Going to have to cover up the computer here on our side of things. Ryan Lowy and Marley Goldstein on the broadcast for you here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Not too much rain in the forecast. Got most of it over with earlier. John Casaglu will take the free kick. Casaglu looking for his 8th goal of the season. He has 5 assists to his name. 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Number 9 rips one. It's handled by John. Mr. Matthew. Say no to danger. Played away by Matthew John. An excellent effort in net, as I was saying. Last year, saw the likes of Logan Paredes in net, who had a phenomenal season, playing 2 years of backup goalkeeping, learning from some of the best. Within Benjamin Pollock and Elijah Elser, he got his starting year last year. Also got injured, was alluding to how Jake Hans had overtaken most of his efforts last year. However, good effort on the JV side, and an unfortunate exodus for Logan Paredes in the county tournament saw a 2-game suspension, and Matthew John entered the statistical line. And this year, obviously the backup goalkeeper for the Lancers, one of the most reliable in the SEC, would have started on many different programs in the Liberty Division. Phenomenal goalkeeper, Parsippany Soccer Club product. Graduating after 4 years to this program, and a few years of varsity effort for the team, helping out off the bench. Played away on an excellent effort. Blinderman spears one out after an excellent effort on the Lancers side. Minute 10 left to go. No more rain coming in, which is the good news. Whistles come in. Now under a minute. Blinderman will take his time to play it back in. Gabriel Kanchik. It's a wild pass, and it looks like it's going to be intercepted. Here come the Knights. Shot from far, handled by John on a hop. Mr. John, no danger here. Played ahead on a header. Rade Dobby, the sophomore, tries to work with it. He's ragtagged down outside the 18. Might have been pulled by the shirt. Rade Dobby, well over 12 goals last year at the freshman level. And he got called up. Saw some varsity time. Actually got a shot off on net on some brilliant plays last year. Now a full varsity player in his sophomore season. More to come on the Lancer seniors. And another half of soccer, a fresh 40 minutes in this scoreless effort between the West Essex Knights and the Livingston Lancers. Here on a beautiful Tuesday evening to wrap up the season for both teams on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
When one of the top public high school athletic programs in the state of New Jersey uses the #1 live stream in the nation.
Flip to Carson. He went the 90 yards on the kickoff return. He's trying to finish it off with a touchdown, and he does! Define Carson.
Ball court. Passed on over to Capstraw. Capstraw will dive in past 2 players, and she's able to load up and score. That is the 1,000-point club type of play right there. You can't ask for better than that one.
Pass across. Stick down by Murphy. Send a shot and deflected. They score!
2 now. We're at the 2:30 marker left in the game. Immaculate go quickly, but it has just costed them a good play there to stay on the West Orange side. Diving in quickly is Capstraw, and she herself is leading West Orange to a comeback. 5.
Short shot on goal. On post. West Orange gets the goal, and they win. They take down the #2 ranked Seton Hall Pirates. What a thrilling game.
So a free kick for West Orange. She sends it towards the net.
But we don't score the game, we just call and record it. As the pitch from Bove with nobody on base swung on and missed, struck him out. Rossi now trying to get on the offensive side of things. Can he? Ooh, and he's able to work himself into a pin position. Can he earn the pin? He's got all 5 back points easily secured, and he pins him. So the first Rossi with the pinfall victory.
West Orange with a 5-0 win over Newark Central. I'm here with West Orange head coach Doug Nevins. All right, West Orange with a 6-1 win over Columbia. I'm here with 3 stars of the game: Emma Mitchell, Kaya Schultz, Gianna Festino.
So I'm Ryan Lowy from D1 Media Pro, and I'm joined with senior Kaya Schultz and junior Kylie Capstraw.
Here with West Orange girls varsity coach Sean DeVore. screen pass out in the flat, caught, and it's a touchdown for St. Peter's. O'Donnell swinging away, puts it over the shortstop's head. That's a base hit. It'll score 1. Faraz on his way home. Throw is not in time. Going quickly, Bullock takes the snap, throws to the far side, wide open, touchdown.
In there, called strike 3 looking. Mulcahy strikes out the side. He's perfect through 2.
Now up ahead for the Marauders. Here comes Benkovich. They score! Michael Benkovich for St. Peter's Prep. Bounced on the ground to short. Faraz Fields flip to O'Donnell 1. Throw on to first in time for a double play. Just will look back out there for the Marauders. He takes the snap. Looking over the middle. Has a man. Can he scores? Reels it in. 35. Stick on to defenders. 2 on his feet. 20. Once again. Hit in the air to deep center field. Sicka moving on the back at the wall. It's gone! Ellis Reed with a 2-run blast. And the Marauders have a 6-0 lead.
St. Peter's Prep has the best coverage for its student athletes. Why don't you?
It's hard to get to everything we have going on here. I mean, this high school has so much. And now you're offering the ability to watch those events without having to travel there.
My dad travels a lot, so he likes to watch the events. Like if I'm playing a volleyball game and he can't make it, he'll watch it and he loves it.
I think it was homecoming. It was Friday night, and it was a punt return, and I returned it all the way back for a touchdown. And then, of course, I showed all my family members, and they really liked it. They liked to see what their family members can do.
Golden Lions.
I think this broadcast is essential because our team is global, and we got people all over the world going to watch the game. So without this, there's no way they can do that.
These kids and these players feel loved, they feel important, and by broadcasting it, you have a bigger group that you're reaching that allows them to know those kids.
One of New Jersey's premier high school basketball teams gets their coverage from D1 Media Pro, and it goes like this.
Finds Floyd to tie things up. Tie game! 62 apiece. 90 seconds. Floyd attacking and throws it down. Corey Floyd. A missed opportunity down low behind the back to Bueno and one. Lawrence with Floyd to lob it up on a slam. Too low for Dunn. Wilcher to Floyd. Brings it in and one on the lob. Thought about the 3. Drives baseline. Oh, what a start for Corey Floyd. Rowdy here with Corey Floyd after a tough. Wilcher 3. Got it. Simeon Wilcher is fired up. And Simeon Wilcher all alone with the flush. Rowdy here with Simeon Wilcher. And a pass taken away by Marshall. And he'll throw it down. Tosses it ahead to Valencia. Serene driving and throws it down. He can't get around and a turnover. Corey Floyd has it. Step through, lay-in, build the basket. Marcus Cerroti here with Roselle Catholic head coach Dave Boff. Dave, you're coming up.
Now it's your time to join.
The North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute is the preferred practice for diagnosis and orthopedic treatment in New Jersey. From the moment you become a patient in our practice, our experienced team supports you until your full recovery with education, compassion, and understanding. Our focus includes sports injuries, as well as the treatment of a broad range of orthopedic complaints, from common tendon ailments and arthritic joint pain to traumatic injuries. Our facility offers an on-site physical therapy suite. In conjunction with specifically designed exercise programs, non-invasive and advanced healing technology, we can not only address the current injury, but also find the underlying cause, such as muscle weakness, imbalance, or improper form. We also offer non-surgical modalities, such as platelet-rich plasma injections, which can lead to an accelerated recovery. To provide efficient and excellent care, personal interactions and individualized attention for each patient is important. We are committed to create a protocol that can eliminate similar injuries in the future. At North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute, we are dedicated to providing the highest standard of care and comfort of athletes, including patients with non-related sports injuries. Board-certified orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist Dr. Michael Rosanella utilizes non-surgical and minimally invasive surgical procedures to help patients regain back their quality of life. The North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute is the preferred practice for diagnosis and orthopedic treatment in New Jersey. Our focus includes sports injuries, as well as the treatment of a broad range of orthopedic complaints, from common tendon ailments and arthritic joint pain to traumatic injuries. Our facility offers an on-site physical therapy suite, in conjunction with specifically designed exercise programs, non-invasive and advanced healing technology. Specialist Dr. Michael Rosanella utilizes non-surgical and minimally invasive surgical procedures to help patients regain back their quality of life.
Martin drops back, looks left, throws left. Pass complete.
Second and 8, Raging Bulls. Play action. It's tossed over the middle. Touchdown.
In, crowding the line of scrimmage. Man comes in motion. Minucci turns around, hands to Heath. He's got a first down, a lot more. There goes Ronnie Heath. He's off to the races. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Don Bosco.
Ball carried by number 5, Ronnie Heath.
He's still running. He's still looking. Oh, it's a nice hit. It's a beautiful pass, though. Touchdown. Oh, that's a major play right there. That's Jordan Marsh with the concentration. Hey, that was a nice one.
Shepard. Shepard throwing. He's getting chased out left. Throws it. Oh, 13 catches it. And number 12. I'm sorry, it's number 12 on the catch. Brings it in. Number 13 with his second touchdown.
Man in motion. And a pass up the field. Received by number 5, Jaden Blackwell.
And that is a touchdown for the Trojans.
And there is a touchdown. Boy, how quickly things can change.
Over to the skyline this evening. You can see the tip of Livingston High School's highest point and the beautiful sky as we move towards the 6 o'clock hour, 5:58 p.m. Eastern Time, and the sun going down behind us here at Al Jake Jacobson Field in Livingston, Essex County, New Jersey. Livingston's senior night, 40 fresh minutes on the clock. Ran through the clock with no goals, no injuries, no cramps, no nothing in the first half. A lot of substitutions. Still nobody has cracked the net yet on any D1 Media Pro broadcast this year. One team will have to change that unless we see a unfortunate and boring 0-0 tie. And trust me, in all my broadcasts this year, I've seen enough of them. It's been a great year as we're wrapping up the regular season today for public schools on D1 Media Pro. It's been a great year, but too many ties in high school soccer. And I'm thinking, if they're gonna have ties in high school soccer, why don't they do it like the rest of the soccer world does it? No overtime. If we're gonna play overtime, I think we should find a winner. Maybe do something like in hockey playoffs where they just keep doing 10-minute intervals with breaks until someone scores, and then in the playoffs, since it's playoffs, teams are win, play on, win, you're out. Maybe do a shootout type of thing that they're doing right now, best 3 out of 5, like the FIFA world does for playoffs, World Cup, FA Cup, that type of thing. That's just my thought, though, and I like to consider myself an expert, but, maybe some people would disagree. I would hope not. Livingston controls in the back. Here's Aaron Henselvitz. Henselvitz took off his sophomore year to develop his soccer skills. Came back to Coach Rubinetti's squad his junior year, lit it up last year on the left back side. This year, all-around dominant force, coming back from injury off of Newark Academy. He's been great. Checked back in for the first time in the Seton Hall prep contest as Ajib draws a foul. He's been great ever since, although he's been trying to take it a little lightly to make sure that everything stays healthy for States. The biggest loss for the team is the quad issue, the quad tear that Jake Hahn sees. This one played in, sneaks through. Feldman almost punched one into the back of the net. Slid through the turf in the Lancers touchdown zone, just outside the 6, a few yards out. Couldn't finish it. West Essex Knight is down, but Feldman was just oh so close to breaking the draw and scoring the Lancers' first goal on the network this year. Lancers 0 for 3 on D1 Media Pro broadcast this year. The first loss was against West Orange, 1-0 to open up the season. Zachary Feldman was on the call. I was on the call for the semifinal matchup versus Kevin Connolly versus Seton Hall Prep. The 3-0 loss the Lancers saw. The 2-0 loss the Lancers saw versus Seton Hall Prep. That was more of a closer effort. You can catch that when I was play-by-play here at the Jake on a beautiful Friday evening under the lights. Both football teams were not playing that Friday evening like most other schools, so soccer got to take the helm on the boys' side. You can catch that one and all 3 of those contests for Livingston on demand. We saw West Essex take on West Orange and Seton Hall Prep, a 4-0 loss versus West Orange. Prior to that, they kicked off their season with a 3-0 loss versus the Pirates. Catch those 2 on demand. Quickly played in. Feldman with the man on his back. What does he do? Plays one over Santucci, a heavy touch, it's poked away. Saw some rain during the break. Happy to announce the rain seceded itself. It had about 2 spurts of drizzling, then got a little heavy for a second. Had to cover up the gear, but everything was all right. We're now starting to see that beautiful evening that we hoped for. Temperatures have dropped about 68. Feels in the 67, 66 zone, thank you to the Weather Channel. Played ahead, Feldman on the one touch. Working a little bit too quickly for him was Kane. Tries to put the pressure on. Kane, a hustler, draws down a player, and a quiet whistle comes in. It's a free kick for the Knights. Looks like Greg Ryan might come out to assist on the free kick. And no, sir, I was wrong. Off the free kick, Grossman. He'll keep going with it, draws a foul. Doesn't go to the ground, but whisks a little bit. And now a Knight will draw a yellow card off of Grossman. Smart soccer. John Kasaglu draws a yellow. He was on top of the free kick that he's supposed to move away from immediately off of the whistle. First card of the game. And the West Essex Knights are handed that one. Also the first clock stoppage of the game, as a matter of fact. Around 36 minutes now. Left to play. Played ahead by Blinderman. Hajib tries to slide one through. And headed ahead by Pessoa. Here come the Knights. Deflected off of the punch ahead. And it's a Knights throw-in. Santucci taps ahead. The one touch. Feldman able to get on it. Throws a player down in the process. Still on it. He'll go down. Doesn't get a call on the football 20-yard line. Right side of the field. Here comes West Essex down the other side. Skounakis plays ahead. Down goes Devin Golden. He gets a foul. 5 minutes into the half. Josh Modelson with 8 goals on the season. Stretching out. Final varsity soccer game for the West Essex Knights seniors, unless something is scheduled during the playoff times, an exhibition match of sorts. Likely not going to happen. Have to treat this one like the last one. Grossman plays one ahead. Here's Feldman. Feldman, a very heavy touch. He can't keep it in. He slides, almost hurts himself on the track. What a career. Zach Feldman will go down as one of the best Coach Rubinetti has ever coached. He's going to play Division III soccer, but he's Division I caliber. Lehigh gave him some looks. Very happy at Wesleyan, guaranteed a starting spot if he stays healthy and keeps progressing as they see it. 2 sophomores to check in. Lowenthal and Rade Dobby. The official says guys come in. They will take out Hajib as Lowenthal, and Chris Kane gets a breath. Here's Dobby. Henselvitz works with Pessoa in the back, two key varsity soccer players for Livingston. Touch ahead is deflected, and here comes West Essex. Good effort by Santucci to try and poke away, but West Essex will control. Punched forward on the fly, this one handled by Pessoa. Andy Pessoa powers through. Plays one that sneaks by to Santucci, and Santucci with the run to Feldman. Won't matter if he's offside or not because Greg Ryan got the benefit of the turf bounce. Turf monster gobbled it up. Feldman on the run. Might have been a grass goal for the Lancers, but the Jacobson turf wasn't as kind to its home team. And look at it skid there. It's a little wet. You know, they say that it's very dangerous to drive on the road. The most dangerous, as a matter of fact, a few minutes after rainfall. Might be the toughest to score a goal in soccer off of the long ball a few minutes after rainfall as well. Maybe the tires of a car skid just like a soccer ball. Just my theory. Santucci ahead. Jacob Lowenthal. The sophomore number 28, look at him go. He's touched off the ball, but Feldman to relieve on the takeaway. Ahead, Rade Dobby. Far side. Livingston will control in the back. Andy Pessoa touches ahead. Look at him power through. Reverse course. He's going to send a beautiful through ball. Here come the Lancers. From far, here's a shot saved by Greg Ryan. What a save. Whistles come in to halt play. Brilliant save by Greg Ryan, the acting wall. Clock stops at 31:43. As I said, Livingston soccer in the consolation tournament. Excuse me, Livingston football in the consolation tournament. Livingston soccer starting their state tournament on Thursday, but Livingston football also playing in consolation football tournament this Thursday night. They're on the road at Bayonne, and on the other side, West Essex, a successful 5-3 season, including an out-of-state victory at Mount Carmel of Maryland, wins against Passaic Valley and Nutley and Belleville before finishing off the season with a huge win against Group 5's East Orange. It's got to be the out-of-state win and the victory versus East Orange that were the most notable and strongest victories, as they were able to clinch a home seed for the first round of the tournament. They're going to take on Paramus. A 6:30 p.m. kickoff on Friday evening versus Paramus High School. They'll take the trip in the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 tournament. Off the injury, Greg Ryan will handle a drop ball from the official. Clock will resume ticking down as Greg Ryan will boot one away. Henselvitz with a calm touch. That was impressive. And played ahead, here come the Lancers. Henselvitz chips a far side touch. Relayed on back. Down goes Grossman. No call to their favor, relieved by Pessoa. However, off the redirect, West Essex might still have something going for them. Handball, far side. Taking on just 30 minutes of regular season soccer left for both teams. 50 seconds until then. And a Knights free kick. Both hands raised and the free kick is chipped in. Ahead, this one is over the net. Off the Knights attempt. And it's a goal kick for the Lancers. Wow, Group 4 is just loaded this year. The Lancers entered themselves into a tough bracket that's really flipped over. Dominant teams like Livingston, like Montclair, they're all seeing the far side of the bracket with almost no home games unless the craziest events happen throughout the state's entirety, no matter how many games they play. Then on the other side, look at Barringer Academy of Steam out of the Colonial Division. 11-3 record coming into their final matchup of the season versus Snyder out of Jersey City. Kearney and Elizabeth likely again alongside West Orange, the three likely teams to see themselves, if not winning their sections, but competing in the finals of it. And then of course there's teams like Livingston where if they're healthy, if they're playing their best soccer, they could do a lot of damage. Same goes for West Orange. Excuse me, not for West Orange. Same goes for Livingston and same goes for Montclair as a yellow card was just given out. West Orange is given the high seed benefit. Grossman will have to come off of the yellow card. Checking in Timothy Kelly for the Lancers. So Montclair and Livingston, the two teams that most would have in the bracket, coming up with a possible upset. Obviously with teams like Barringer and Ridgewood higher seeded, hosting at least a first round, maybe more, very likely to lose, possibly due to the amount of losses they've had against teams that they were expected to beat during the regular season. It's been a regular season of not so much domination, so anything can happen. Ahead to Feldman. Feldman with the back heel touch. He's clipped, he goes down, he gets a call, thanks to the side official close side. Free kick. Quickly played in. Feldman on the one-touch cross in the middle, and the finish fits into the back of the net for a Lancers goal. Assisted by Dylan Santucci. It's Rade Dobby's first varsity goal. The sophomore pounds one in. Off the whistle, number 14, Dylan Santucci, off of Feldman's penalty. The junior and the sophomore work together, and the Lancers take the 1-0 lead. There's a collision far side. Baskies went in full guns blazing. A second half lead for Livingston. Santucci and Dobby just kisses it into the back of the net. Off of Feldman's penalty. 1-0 Lancers. Lancers wanted a substitution, they won't get one. Over the head of Lowenthal, controlled now by the Knights. Modelson touches ahead, plays one in. Trying to find a shot, this one rocketed over. Piccinini almost gave it away. The shot came from Skounakis. 27.5 to play. Santucci pounded it in, and a great finish from Dobby. Feldman gets a break. Baskies gets a break. Jaden Lee gets a break for Livingston. But wow, Feldman drew it up. And the junior and the sophomore delivered for the seniors. Played ahead by John. Lancer throw-in now.
Normal pace, guys, normal pace.
Dobby can't take a touch on it. Headed ahead by Santucci. In the air, he'll go for it again. Santucci adds an assist to his stat marker, and Rade Dobby getting his first career goal. Quickly played in far side for Pessoa. Ahead the other way. A nice slide tackling effort. A save deal there by Henselvitz, and it's punched ahead by Santucci. Touchdown by Pessoa and played far side. Santucci. Nice touchdown by Lowenthal. Ahead, here's Rade Dobby. The sophomores working together. Back out Lowenthal. One touches one in. It's a chip one. And a nice touch to the side opportunity now for Pessoa. Henselvitz goes down. A little slippery on the highway this evening. Drive slowly, folks. El Fuego takes over. He shoots deflected. Skirmied over and controlled by Greg Ryan. The lights are on here at the Jake. Turned on about 10 minutes ago. It's 6:17 p.m. Eastern Time. Still 25 minutes of regulation soccer left to play. West Essex down 1-0. Relay header under pressure. Linderman sweeps it out. Kanchik ahead. Tap down. Smith still working with it. He sends it close side. Tough job keeping it in, but it will stay in. The official says it went out. No call. And the close side official will now communicate that the ball went out. As the head official finally saw the call come in, a little delayed. Not sure there if it was kept in by Modelson, but nonetheless the call came in. 23:55. Good control here by the Knights. Livingston controlled possession throughout the first half's entirety. Back line of West Essex doing damage with the midfield. Now they're going to try and get the forwards involved. Modelson shields off. He has an opportunity. He taps one ahead. A three-way collision. It's out. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick. I thought Modelson touched it. Might have been Pessoa. Tough to see from this distance. Might have been Andy Pessoa, the relieving defender who came in, who tapped it away. Feldman checks back in. He takes out Dylan Santucci. Santucci with an assist on the day off of Feldman's exquisite drawn penalty effort on the back heel kick. And Rade Dobby buried it. It's 1-0. Livingston holds the lead this evening, folks. Played in quickly. Too strong for a header from the outside. This one deflected off the back line by Feldman. He holds firm off of that one. And another effort. These keep getting deflected. And now Dobby's able to punch one out finally. Throwing now for the Lancers. Feldman. Sent on over. Onside is Luke Petrina. Tries to cross one. It's deflected and cleared away. Luke Petrina. Played forward and nobody there for Matthew Blinderman. 21.5 left to play. Here in regular season soccer on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Another effort for Petrina. He can't get on it. Touched ahead. There's a nice clinical soccer play right there. Offside, though, is Petrina. The Livingston side doesn't like that call. They're claiming that was not the case. Have to wonder if he was. Looked to me like he was just off by a little bit. Nonetheless, Greg Ryan will play it up. Livingston holding the lead and dominating in possession, thanks to Rade Dobby and Dylan Santucci. Pessoa plays forward, it's out, it's a throw-in for West Essex. Rade Dobby getting his first varsity goal as a Lancer. He got a few varsity appearances last year. This year, sees himself on the squad full-time, trying to squeeze into the starting lineup. That was quite convincing off the goal there. However, we're moving right to state playoff soccer, and Coach Rubenetti is no shy to it. He's looking for a state championship, and this team, although they've had a very rough start to the season as they're keeping it in play far side, they have a lot of talent that they can work with. Who knows what they can brew up. Livingston baseball did it last year. From far, this shot rocketed over through the uprights. And some Lancer substitutions here. Constat and Kane check in. And Rade Dobby getting a special round of applause for his goal. That was a phenomenal finish, pardon me, as Eric Bullino, who's currently injured, is giving him a round of applause for that phenomenal effort. Headed forward. This one to Feldman. Feldman couldn't drive on it. He'll now try and recover. Smith plays a ball through on the one-touch forward. And now Skounakis takes ahead. Tapped away. Nice touch by Pessoa. Reverses course. Luke Petrina. He's bullied off the ball by Zachary Smith. 18:35 left to play. Rain starting to re-enter now. Seen spurts of it all game as it now starts to pick up. (18:15) and a throw-in now for Matthew Blinderman. Far in and ahead. This one takes a bounce. It's headed out by Lucas Pastor. Ahead now on the touch by Modelson. The Lancers once again take it away. Just seems like there's no path for West Essex today. They've had a few spurts of pressure. They've been shut down by Mr. Matthew John in net. Starting to get dark as we're moving towards winter. We'll have some ice hockey and basketball on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network, as we're looking forward to the winter. As at this hour in the coming weeks, it'll be pitch black and we'll be inside in the gym or in West Orange's great Cody Arena. West Essex joins with Caldwell for a dominant McInnes program in the hockey world, and Livingston on the other side. Last year, they made it all the way to the state finals and the McInnes Cup finals. They also had the best regular season divisional record in the McInnes division. Whistles come in, about 7:05 left to go for an injured player. (17:05) here left to play in the contest. Looks like Captain Smith is cramping a little bit. Vincent Piccinini will come in and try and hunt for his third goal and relieve Smith. Quickly played back in. Just 17 minutes of regular season soccer now left to play. Matthew John plays ahead. Squeezes by on a few hops. Chris Kane tries to bully his way through. It's left for Timmy Kelly, who makes an excellent play around Lucas Pastor. Shipped ahead. Here comes Chris Kane. Chris Kane shoots. Saved by Ryan. From the outside once again. Left far, crossed in. Saved by Ryan. Greg Ryan, the rock in net for West Essex. Lancers have a substitution waiting. This one played away. Greg Ryan spoils the party. It was only the sophomore Rade Dobby that can notch through so far. And a beautiful assist by Dylan Santucci. Quickly off the whistle from Feldman's drawn penalty. Keyshawn Bava waiting to sub in for the Lancers. He's held off. Also looks like Smith is on his feet. He wants to show that he's able to come back in. We will see if Coach Grosso will let him back. Grosso, as he said, around 12, 13 seasons, he said, at the helm of the Knights. Touchdown. Lancers will play ahead. Far side ball sent to Konstadt. He'll hit the brakes. Too strong of a pass for him on the skidding turf. 15-20 left to play. Ahead go the Knights. Time as it's played back. Chipped in. This one's going to roll, and it's going to be poked away by Blinderman. Touched ahead. Here's a chip in by the Knights. Relay header on out. Golden. Still on it, he pokes back. Demir Jean plays one in. This one's going to be tough for John. Mr. Matthew doesn't see any harm there. John punts away with under 15 minutes left to play. And now here come the Lancers. Luke Petrina bullies his way onto the ball. He's going to run down the line. He's going to try and cut in. Plays a nice ball on over. Here's Lowenthal. Lowenthal back on out. Here's Feldman. Deflected off of Feldman's cross. Here's a whistle. Looks like Skunakis got a little physical with it. Lowenthal. Looks like he wants to take the free kick after drawing the foul. 14 minutes and still a running clock left to go. Definitely a foul came in there. So let's see what the Lancers can brew up here. Whistles come in as Feldman was the attempted player from outside the 18. Looks like a reroute of the run. Feldman moves up. Now whistles will come in once again. Lowenthal waiting for the whistle now. He's communicating with the sideline official now when he can play it in. Now looks like he gets the whistle to go. He's going to double hitch and play one in. Feldman on the running header. Came in too strong. The finish off balance from far by Konstadt. Feldman whisks one off the planet. There was an opportunity for Feldman, but he drills it over. Now under 13 minutes left to play in the second half. Keyshawn Bava checks in. Looks like Zachary Smith will also. Timmy Kelly gets a breather, as well as Zach Kesh. And Timmy gets a round of applause. As I said earlier, brother to 3 former Lancer athletes. Caitlin Kelly played girls varsity soccer, was a phenomenal player. And Kyle and Brian Kelly also playing at the next level brothers and college soccer players related to Timmy as well. This is a through ball. This one might squeeze through. John has to get dirty. We're going to make a slide tackling play. Whistles come in. West Essex is going to get a penalty kick. I don't know how you can make that call because that was all ball. It's going to be a PK. Looks like Captain Smith goes down. Well, maybe he got chipped, but it looked very clear to me like Matthew John went in feet first like a defender would, which shows that there was no intention of tripping, and he pushed the ball in the direction somebody slide tackling would do. So now West Essex has the opportunity to tie it up. The clock stops with 11:48. You know what that means? We could be looking at overtime soccer here in the regular season. It'll be 2 10-minute intervals and no shootout because it's a regular season divisional contest. Close side official now is conversating with Charlie Grossman. I wonder what they are talking about in regards to the call. The far side official, as you can see on the screen, getting ready. With that being said, while Kerry Redden, the athletic trainer here at Livingston High School, is tending to, looks like, Zachary Smith, who drew the penalty off of John's sweeper-keeper type of effort. West Essex will wind for a PK, and it looks to come from John Casaglu. Casaglu will look to tie Josh Modelson with an equal amount of goals. Casaglu, 5 assists on the season. So Matthew John, with all 22 players on the field watching him. Stop clock with 11:48. This one to tie the game, coming in from John Casaglu, the senior. Matthew John is ready. Here's the shot. Fits into the back of the net for a Knights goal. John Casaglu ties the game. Casaglu found the back of the net, as it looks like Zachary Smith was chipped by the soccer ball on the sweeper-keeper clearance effort from the senior in net, Matthew John, who's been playing the whole game today. And West Essex ties the effort. Wonder if VAR footage will be used to see if that was really a call. That was necessary. We'll have to see, but it's a tie game at 1 apiece. So the sophomore Rade Dobby does it for the Lancers off of a beautiful ball played off of a free kick on the outside. Drawn by Feldman. Lowenthal did the assist as a whistle comes in here. And then about 15-20 minutes later in soccer time, Matthew John doing the sweeper-keeper effort. Took down Zachary Smith. Looked like all ball, most would claim, but nonetheless Casaglu, while Smith got escorted off by training staff, buried it into the back of the net. Off of the free PK effort. Tie ball game. And that means we possibly could see overtime soccer here at the Jake. Lancers looking for win number 8, and then take a day off, regroup their thoughts, get some practices in, retry all the plays before a Thursday matchup at Ridgewood. On the other side, West Essex trying to end off a regular season with no playoffs ahead. 6 points shy of it with a victory. This one headed back on a risk to Matthew John. He'll hold it and signal everybody up. It's going to be all hands on deck if the Lancers want to take home this senior night victory and stay unbeaten in 3 matchups. The 3 regular season matchups after the county tournament before a playoff matchup against Ridgewood. Ridgewood is ready to play. Yes, they've dropped a lot of competitions. They've shown some weaknesses this year, but they are a very good soccer team. They've faced a few injuries, not quite as many as Livingston or West Essex, but they've faced a few injuries. They have a few players not playing on Thursday due to that, but they're all ready to go. They're full steam ahead. And they're the favored team in front of a home crowd on Thursday. Still to be announced what time it'll be at. I'm going to guess, just like everyone else, a 2 p.m. start down in the village of Ridgewood. Good news is this game does not count for power points. Win-loss, the opponent doesn't matter for either team. Obviously, I think West Essex would be begging for anything to try and move in their playoff direction, but they will not compete in Section 2 Group 3 this year and try and make a Group 3 state tournament possible championship run. Kept in by Constadt. Kane bullies his way onto the soccer ball. There he goes. He plays one through. It's too weak. Tapped ahead again. Chris Kane will get another effort off of the play by Constadt. He has to keep it in first. He does. Takes 2 touches on the ball. Plays ahead. It's cleared away. Lancer throw in. And this is where they need the big effort. Bringing the big guns back in within Dylan Santucci. He has an assist on the day. Maybe he'll assist another one. Stands close off the throw-in coming from Blinderman. Whistles come in. The officials weren't ready yet. Yeah, I don't know about the fans, but this would be a fun overtime under the lights. A great way to end a thrilling regular season in the Super Essex Conference American Division. Strong throw-in towards the 6, poked away. About 10-15 yards outside the 18. This one bounces and will roll out in front of Modelson for a West Essex throw-in. 8:45 left to go in the second half. Grossman collides with Feldman after calling him off. He'll get a touch. He draws a foul. Freelancer kick. Here's the future Centennial Conference player, Charlie Grossman. He plays one in. Feldman on the relay header. And Greg Ryan gets a gift-wrapped package, playing a little outfield on the baseball field there. Had to handle a pop fly off of Feldman's header. There's a powerful punt past the half mark. That one's going to take a tough bounce. Couldn't be handled by the back line. Blinderman will try and regroup. But here comes Zach Kesh and the West Essex Knights. Played ahead, Modelson. Touched off the ball on a heavy touch. Grossman for the Lancers. Chach will step aside with the ball now and play ahead once again. There he goes. With a runner behind him, Grossman will ship one through a side tackling play away, and Grossman goes down hard on the turf. You got to figure that one's going to hurt. From just outside the football 30-yard line on the right side of the field, the clock stops with 7:31. Assist on the day for Dylan Santucci. The first goal of the game, he's going to take the free kick. And see what the Lancers can brew here. Whistle comes in. Here's the service, it's headed away. And swung away on a clearance. The last line sweeper can't handle it. Here come the Knights down the other side. Zach Kesh off of the sweeping error plays when it's in the middle. Nobody there, but Kesh had a key opportunity. The touch was too heavy, and with the turf skidding it so far away, there was nothing he could do with it. Grossman slings one down the middle, nobody there, tapped ahead by himself, and here's a ball from Lowenthal. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be nicely touched down by Santucci. Santucci, varsity appearances last year as a sophomore. Look at him go his junior year, working what looks like a corner kick. Oh, the head official says it's a throw-in, although the side official was very confident in the corner kick call. They'll convene. Clock stoppage is signaled by the head official. Now, I do believe this is the toughest angle to call it, but I do believe in the corner kick call. Let's see what they say. Corner kick. Or no, actually looks like a throw-in. Just a shy bit of confusion there. Nothing too much. So nonetheless, Blinderman throws it in. It's a throw-in. Touched out. Played away. Pessoa flags it down in the back as the player slide tackles to him. He gives a hopper for Greg Ryan to savage up. Hovering around 6 minutes of regulation soccer. Both coaches agree we will see a winner through overtime in a possible 20 minutes. No goals scored. It's golden goal. Then it would be a tie. Grossman far off sides there. He was building a house the next town over in Millburn. Good real estate there in Millburn. He's trying to take advantage. 5:20. Played in, falling was Eric Forget. Whistles come in, and it's a Lancer free kick. 5 minutes of regulation soccer. Head official saying to move the ball back from the free kick. It'll be placed at around the 25-yard line. Right back to where it came from. Then Coach Rubinetti says, let's move it forward, and that's what the Lancers will do. Touchdown. Excellent defensive effort there. Spiked away. Lancer throwing around where the free kick came from. Remember, Day Dobby with a goal checks in on the day, and also checking back in, taking out Keyshawn Bava, is Josh Baskies. One's across the board in this effort between the two teams. With 4 minutes and 15 seconds of soccer left to be played in regulation here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Day Dobby, the silent H in his first name. Pessoa can't find it. Plays it back, this one from around the 18-yard line, played up to the middle of the field. Touched back by Smith to Blinderman, he sends one ahead. Fierce Feldman from outside the 6 tries to play one in, it's deflected back on Feldman for a goal kick. Feldman from outside the 18 took a heavy touch in, he was first one on it from outside the 6. He deflected one off of a defender, hit himself before rolling out behind the net. Goal kick from the 6. So Greg Ryan will run onto the screen and address one forward. Whistles come in, and it's a Lancer free kick. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to work with. Lancers looking for win number 8. West Essex looking for win number 7. Josh Baskies far side. Cuts in. Uses his weak foot to play it in. It's poked away by Josh Modelson. 2:55 left to play. Played high and far. The header by Santucci finds its way to Lowenthal. He takes a heavy touch. It's poked over to Santucci defensively. Santucci cuts by Forget. Forget ducks it out. Corner kick for the Lancers under 2.5 minutes to make something happen before we may see an intermission. Lowenthal challenged. Santucci's onside. He tries to play one and it deflects out. And the turf drags it out for a Lancer throw-in. .205. Matthew Blinderman quickly throws it in. Relay header. Modelson. Dobby tried to sneak by him, but Modelson got the benefit of the doubt. Made a risky maneuver, got away with it. Skunakis subs back in. He takes out John Kasaglu. Mr. PK tied the game. 90 seconds. Feldman. Whistles come in. Wonder what the call was. Looks like he was offsides, maybe? I don't know if that was possible. We're waiting to see what it is. Coach Rubinetti just as confused as we are up here. Clock is signaled to stop. A little bit of confusion today between the close side official and the main official. Now both officials will try and explain to Rubinetti what's going on. Coach Rubinetti, excuse me, in his 32nd year at the same time. 32 years at the helm of the Lancers. That's a long time. It's a really long time as a head coach of a soccer program. And he's done quite the good job. He's been there almost as long as Marty Berman of Seton Hall Prep, who's tallied up to 37 years. Charlie Grossman plays one ahead. Feldman timed it just beautifully. Takes a touch into the 18, a heavy one. Cuts in, he's still on his feet. Left foot touch, he passes one in. The finish from Grossman, deflected away. Tries to put it on again. Handball, there's the whistle. Lancers now have an opportunity to break through. It's a defensive handball. Grossman swung. It was deflected off a shoulder. Grossman swung again off the deflection. And this time, it's going to be a PK. It hit the hands. So who other to do it than Fierce Feldman? I called his PK goal last year versus MKA. Or excuse me, Montclair. He drilled it at the Madonna Turf, and now across the street. Feldman will look for his third goal of the season off of the penalty kick. 41 seconds left to go. We'll take his time and place it down. Greg Ryan's had a great game today. He gave up one goal. Ryan's ready. Feldman takes a breath. Here he goes. Drills it over! Greg Ryan was bailed out. The soccer gods gave him a kiss on the cheek. Feldman will now get picked up by his fellow seniors, Andy Pessoa and Charlie Grossman. He had a chance to seal the deal. A tough break for the Lancers. Nonetheless, we're still playing soccer. We still don't have a winner. This is a tough ball played in. Touched ahead. Feldman again. Perfect timing on the run. Look at him go. Outside the 18. He's drilled down. Goal kick. Feldman thought he just earned himself yet another PK. And it just turns into a substitution for the Knights. Michael Kobos checks in. Three, 2, and 1 regulation soccer in the books. So that will do it for regulation. Of course, overtime soccer looks like it is going to come in effect right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS network. So the Knights on the left side will be taken by Coach Grasso on over for a discussion, and Coach Rubinetti will take his Lancers. 4 minutes and 40 seconds till we have more soccer. Golden goal, 1-1 tie game on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS network.
The North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute is the preferred practice for diagnosis and orthopedic treatment in New Jersey. From the moment you become a patient in our practice, our experienced team supports you until your full recovery with education, compassion, and understanding. Our focus includes sports injuries, as well as the treatment of a broad range of orthopedic complaints, from common tendon ailments and arthritic joint pain to traumatic injuries. Our facility offers an on-site physical therapy suite. In conjunction with specifically designed exercise programs, non-invasive and advanced healing technology, we can not only address the current injury, but also find the underlying cause, such as muscle weakness, imbalance, or improper form. We also offer non-surgical modalities, such as platelet-rich plasma injections, which can lead to an accelerated recovery. To provide efficient and excellent care, personal interactions and individualized attention for each patient is important. We are committed to create a protocol that can eliminate similar injuries in the future. At North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute, we are dedicated to providing the highest standard of care and comfort of athletes, including patients with non-related sports injuries. Board-certified orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist Dr. Michael Rusinella utilizes non-surgical and minimally invasive surgical procedures to help patients regain back their quality of life. The North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute is the preferred practice for diagnosis and orthopedic treatment in New Jersey. Our focus includes sports injuries, as well as the treatment of a broad range of orthopedic complaints, from common tendon ailments and arthritic joint pain to traumatic injuries. Our facility offers an on-site physical therapy suite. In conjunction with specifically designed exercise programs, non-invasive and advanced healing technology, specialist Dr. Michael Rusinella utilizes non-surgical and minimally invasive surgical procedures to help patients regain back their quality of life.
So take a look at this. We have overtime soccer coming up here at Al Jake Jacobson Field. Feldman couldn't finish on the PK, thought he drew another one. Didn't get the call West Essex previously tied it on the PK. Captain Zachary Smith went down on the sweeper-keeper effort from Matthew John, and John Kasaglu buried his 8th goal of the season off of the PK. Prior to that one, though, Rade Dobby drilled one, the sophomore, his first goal in 2 years of varsity soccer appearances for the Lancers. It's a 1-1 tie game. Next goal wins, 2 10-minute intervals of overtime. No shootout available. That means that this season could end for the Lancers in the regular season with 3 draws and possibly a draw to West Essex's record. Game number 16 for West Essex, game number 15 for the Lancers. In 14 games, the Lancers are 7-5-2. And on the other side, for the Knights, in 15 games, they're 6-9. Both teams coming out of the SEC American Division. This is how they will wrap up divisional play, conference play, regular season play. And for West Essex, any boys soccer play in high school, these seniors will finish off right here. 1 minute and 5 seconds away from overtime soccer. Stay tuned. We'll have it next on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it for free. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Makayaton touchdown. Wins it. The championship.
Ten minutes will be put on the clock for this overtime. A 1-1 tie game. Dobby off the assist by Santucci. Through the foul drawn by Feldman. And then off the sweeper keeper effort from Matthew John on the left side of the field. Smith goes down and Kasaglu drills his 8th of the season to tie the ball game. Feldman sent the PK well too high. And that means we could see up to 20 minutes more of high school soccer here at the Jake in both teams' regular seasons. We're wrapping up the regular season for public schools. The entire regular season ends tomorrow in a private school matchup. Non-public B's, Newark Academy taking on non-public A's, Seton Hall Prep. Seton Hall Prep senior day. They got to get that one in, and they got to get it finished before it starts to get dark around 5:30, 5:45-ish. So that's tomorrow. Not only that, West Orange girls soccer begins high school soccer playoffs. And then on Thursday, West Orange boys soccer. Both 2 p.m. kickoffs for the girls and boys Wednesday and Thursday. And then, of course, we're seeing plenty of playoff football on Friday. And then once the playoffs conclude, we'll cover everything to the state semifinals. We are so excited to be able to bring you hockey, wrestling, basketball, you name it, winter sports at the high school level here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Presented by Michael C. Rusinella and NJ Orthopedics, as well as our other sponsors, Tavares Insurance, Toronto's Pizza Kitchen, and plenty more. Interested in advertising with us? Reach out to d1media@yahoo.com. I believe $500 a season. Definitely worth the investment. We bring in a lot of views here at D1 Media Pro, and we have a great game. One too many, Coach Grosso has. The West Essex Knights present on the field. They're going to have to take off number 23, Michael Kobos. Overtime to see who will hoist the Silver Cup here in the 2022 big game. The Lancers have hoisted it the last 6 times. Can they make it 7? Potential 20 minutes. First team to score will hold it. And I believe if it's a tie game, Livingston will stay with it. They will not have earned it, though, so they will not celebrate with it. But they will hold on to the trophy as they reign supreme, almost like in the WWE, where if you have a belt and you lose by not being in the rink for a certain amount of time, I believe it's 10 seconds, you don't lose your belt, but you lose the match. Played ahead, Grossman. Touched away. Relay header. This is trouble in the back for the Lancers. Kasaglu. Look at him cut. Look at him go. Played away. A minute into overtime. One-to-one tie game. Both teams trying to end their regular season on a high note. West Essex to say goodnight to a season where they just missed the playoffs by around 6 points. On the other side, Livingston trying to stay 3 matches unbeaten. Heading into Ridgewood. Under 48 hours, around 40 hours from now. Played away. Headed forward. Santucci touches forward. He keeps it in on the yellow line, plays it back. Soccer lining is yellow, lacrosse lining also on this field, as well as the white football lining. Here come the Knights. To the middle. Opportunity for Stunakis. Away. Golden can't hold on to it. Far side. This one played into danger. Oh, what a save! Matthew John touches it away from very dangerous incoming trouble. Throw in now for the Knights. Down goes Grossman. He earns yet another call. And he plays one ahead. Here's a run that's going to skip. Too many hops too far away from Santucci. And cleared away by Forget. This cross, wrong side of the net. Trying to look for the front side of the net to try and get a header on it. Again, ends up in the back, hits off the standing firm uprights holder. Now a goal kick for the Knights. Played ahead. Feldman gets a touch on it. Here comes West Essex down the other side. This one shipped in, poked ahead by Henselwitz. Grossman. Number 2 chips one forward. Baskies tries to get a run on it. He keeps it in. Still cutting. Josh Baskies works one back. Lowenthal, a little out of position. Plays one out. Here's an opportunity. Speared in to danger. West Essex header. West Essex touch in the air on it to clear it away. Free kick for West Essex. A lot of people unhappy with that call. Quickly played in. Opportunity for Modelson. To the middle. Kasaglu. Whisking around. Poked off of it. Blinderman. Feldman close side. Takes a touch forward. This one sears through to Grossman. It's just tapped away by Forget, but it looks like Grossman's going to try and shield it out. He does a good job with it. However, he doesn't get the call. Both officials agree this time that Grossman got a chip on it. I can't say I agree. Grossman's reaction, he's showing a lot of emotion, usually a player that shows slim to no emotion. Very frustrated with the call. This has to be tough for Livingston. Expected to beat a team like West Essex, still going against them. Here's an opportunity. Grossman plays one into danger. Dobby's second of the game. Twists into the hands off of deflections to the breadbasket of Greg Ryan. Out for a Lancer throw-in. Whistles come in. It looks like there was a little pushing and shoving there. Looks like call went in on Zach Kesh. It's a free kick now for Livingston. Played into trouble. This one fits into the back of the net for a game-winning Lancers goal. That's Fierce Feldman. The walk-off finish to end the regular season in style. Fabulous finish, Feldman. Fired it. I don't know how that one found that back of the net, but it did. How about that? The Wesleyan commit. tips it off for Livingston. Couldn't finish the PK with 41 seconds to play. Gets it done in first overtime with 4 minutes and 42 seconds left. West Essex tied it off of a PK by Kasaglu. Fierce Feldman fires one home. I don't know how he put that one in, but it wasn't with a foot. And the Lancers double their lead. Well, excuse me, double the amount of goals they had this game. They win this one 2-1. And they'll hold on to the silver trophy. One of the managers will hold it, and both teams will now shake hands. Stay tuned for the trophy presentation, but Livingston tips it off. Hey, it's up. Let me get through. Hold on, it's up.
Let's get out of here.
Do it, David.
That's what's up. 1600. 1600. Let's go.